talk to Gage.
Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to explain to all of you why Bright Memory Infinite is not only a great video game, but also why it is anti-modern gaming, and I'll explain what that is too. So this video is actually a long time coming, if you ask me, because this game, I remember seeing it back at one of those Xbox presentations, and I was watching like a Game Ranks video and they were talking about it. And I remember thinking to myself, like, that is the best graphics I've ever seen in a video game before. And it was my first real look at what next gen games would look like. So ever since I saw that, I always wanted to play it. And I was just waiting for it to go on sale on the Microsoft Store via my Xbox Series X. And finally it did, and I was like, I'm playing that. I'm freaking in on this. So I did finally play it. The gameplay is awesome. It's fast paced. It is multiple options for combat. Enemy variety is there. The weapon variety is there. It technically does have upgrades and stuff, although certain ones I avoided just because I didn't like how it changed the game. As weird as that is, I stuck to mostly the things that were just upgrading what I already had, with a few caveats in there. But anyways, being able to combo attacks together in an FPS game is not something I thought I wanted in a game, but my gosh, this game is so much fun to run through. As I get further in life, I have less time for my hobbies. I still have time, of course, otherwise I wouldn't be making this YouTube video for all of you to enjoy. With less time though, it becomes more and more valuable to me, like what I spend it on. For this reason, as many of you already know, I'm not really a fan of most open world games. And this is where Bright Memory Infinite is so different, because most games, they try to pad out their runtime with a bunch of weaker content. Far Cry 3 is an example of it, because I took part in none of like the side stuff as much as I could avoid, but there were things like racing in the game and like hunting. Hunting was maybe like one step above racing as far as like how important it was. But see, that's what I'm talking about. It's examples of content that just doesn't really matter, and unless you really like whatever game that is, it's just not gonna jive with you. You're just not gonna care. That's something that I really liked about Bright Memory Infinite, is that it just gets to the point. It just is like, hey, I'm a fun game. Play me.
Play with me.
That was a good clip. I just had to pause. That was a good clip. Can't wait to put that in the video. But here's where I have to kind of back up a little bit, because I think Bright Memory Infinite might have taken it a step too far in this regard, because the game's literally only like 2 or 3 hours long.
How is that possible?
Yeah, I know that is like stupidly short, but I'm gonna put my voice out there and say that's actually not the worst thing in the world, and at least not as bad as you all may think. This game says, here's the combat, the flow, the graphics, and that is what my selling point is. Not a bunch of fluff and different things that just don't really matter. It's like, this is what we do good at, and this is what I'm selling to you, the consumer. Since the game is so short, it's easy to replay it over and over, and I do like this. I literally replayed it like 3 times back to back when I first bought it. I played on the normal difficulty, and then I went to the harder difficulty, or hard difficulty, and then I went to the hardest difficulty for my 3rd playthrough. And honestly, it wasn't as hard as I was expecting. It wasn't that bad. It was pretty enjoyable though. So I liked kind of that progression of like moving up and how difficult it was. But still, it's completely doable if you ask me. Bright Memory Infinite is definitely not selling anybody on its story either. It is completely non-existent. I mean, the game pretends it has a story. Just look at this cutscene. You know what this feels like? It feels like this game puts us in a final quarter of its actual runtime. Like, Where's the other 75% of this game? Because it's almost like the game expects you to know what's happening, almost like we were just dropped in the middle of it versus it starting naturally. That's where it gets pretty messy. Story completely non-existent. So on my second, third playthroughs, I literally just set the voices to Japanese and turned off the text just because I thought it was more immersive, and I'd rather play into that than care what they're actually saying. But I was kind of curious, so I looked this up. The most story I could find on this game was actually in the Wikipedia article written not for this game, but actually its predecessor, Bright Memory. And this is what it said. It said, protagonist Shelia is tasked by the science research organization for which she works to prevent SAI, a military organization, from acquiring a legendary ancient power that can reawaken the dead. The game takes place in a land of sky located above the Arctic, consisting of levitating land masses which are home to ancient creatures. Bright Memory Infinite is probably a little different than that, but that might give us an idea of what's happening. I still don't know what's going on though. I'm not gonna pretend to know what the story is. This game makes me think about when I made that video talking about Peter Jackson's King Kong. Not because of the gameplay, that's for sure. These games are very different, but it's because they're both games that they don't try to waste your time. When a game wastes your time, that's something I just cannot stand. Both King Kong and Bright Memory Infinite respect your time and just give you something fun and unique and interesting to play. Price is maybe slightly a problem here. The game is like, what, 20 bucks? Yeah, I think that may be a little steep for what's here, but I still think this game is worth a check if you think you would like it. If you're unsure, then I recommend waiting for a sale. That's what I did. I got it for like $16, $17 instead of the full 20. But overall, I would totally recommend this game to someone with some extra cash. If it looks interesting to you, you'll probably like it like I did. It's a lot of fun. It's not the most mind-blowing game in the world, but in terms of just like visuals and mechanics, it's completely solid. I would think this game is more in line with like a tech demo of sorts than like, this great AAA, blockbuster kind of game. But for an indie studio, they did a phenomenal job with this, and I highly recommend all of you go check it out who are interested. I just think it's a pretty cool game. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button. If you didn't, I thank you for watching this long, and I will see you all in the next video. Oh wait, and don't forget to engage that subscribe button down below. But with all that being said, I'll see you on the next video. God bless.
I wish I knew how much I miss